Why didn't you come on earlier? Hi, y'all.
I'll talk to you about that too.
Yeah, you could have texted me. You came on earlier.
Good
How y'all
luck, everyone.
doing? It's August 25th, uh, 2025. So glad that you are here today for another Maximize Monday. I say that because we're live today. Um, and August is almost up. So last Sunday of August, this coming Sunday, as we move into September, we are ready for the fall, but not ready for the it getting darker later. But we are here um, today. Uh, but again, we're so glad that you all can join us for another Maximize Monday. Whatever time you're watching this live or watching on the replay, just so glad you are supportive of this particular um, program that we have here at Bethany Church, the Transformation Church of New Jersey. Please do us a favor if you can, like this video, share this, subscribe. We'll subscribe, follow, all that stuff. Whatever platform you're watching on, do that. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Hi, Jaden. Bless you all. We hope you all are doing well today. And we are here today. And I believe that next week is Labor Day. So we'll be off next Monday for the Labor Day holiday. Do people still like barbecue and do stuff?
No, I've never been one to go to barbecues often. So I guess
Really?
that's still a thing. Yeah.
Now, I think times have changed. A lot of people would barbecue and do stuff every holiday. Now people are kind of doing their own thing and just staying in the house and
Yeah, it's a relaxation day.
Yeah, don't feel like working. But at the same time, I think we've lost a communal element.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, it was like people would get together and do stuff, and we see the results of a lack of community. That's a whole discussion.
That's true.
Centered around that. But anywho, don't forget we do have Embrace class tonight at 7:00, and this coming tomorrow is men's ministry, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Empowerment men's ministry. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, Power Men. Tomorrow at 7:00 in person. Of course, you have Bible study coming up soon. And yesterday's service was tremendous. It was phenomenal. If you didn't get a chance to watch it, go back and watch it. Um, check out and see what the Lord did and what He said to us. Souls were saved, lives are changed, and the ministry of music and drama, it all kind of came together.
Yeah.
And appreciative of Transforming Lives Month, watching people get saved over and over again. Hey, Karen, how you doing? And we're just glad to be a part of what God is doing in this ministry, and we're happy about that. All right. Well, since we've been talking about stretching and growth, and hopefully by September we can come up with a new topic. We'll see. But I think that it's important for us to continue to develop as human beings. Once you start growing, that's when you start fading away. And if you don't build it and work on it, the strength to be able to do it or desire to do it will go away. I don't know about y'all, and maybe you can speak to this. I don't feel like doing stuff all the time, but once I get going, I feel like doing it.
Yeah.
Sometimes we wait for the feeling to come, but sometimes you got to stretch yourself and be disciplined enough to do until the feeling starts to kick in, and learn to trust your discipline and your consistency in spite of how you feel. Because if you do everything based off how you feel, you're not gonna get anything accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Your feelings matter, but your feelings shouldn't determine your life, though. Your feelings are telling you something, but they shouldn't dictate how you respond to life and what you do. So it's important for us to remember our feelings are telling us something, but our feelings aren't always true. They're speaking to you, but they're not always speaking factually. That's why it's important to challenge them and acknowledge them and say, you know what, like Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane, let this cup pass from me, but nevertheless, not my will, but your will be done. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway because I know what I need to do And I know I need to stretch myself into doing the thing that I just don't want to do. So maybe we can talk about that today. Passion, desire, and especially when your passion for something starts to wane.
Yeah.
If you don't keep that fire purposely lit, it can start to go on from a big fire to a low fire.
Mm-hmm.
And losing your passion for a thing is a part of the process sometimes. But when you're losing your passion, that's a time to find a way to reignite that bad boy.
Yep.
Boredom is not a boredom is an opportunity for growth and passion. You know, boredom means you've lost your excitement for it, and it's time to figure out how to get that excitement back.
Mm-hmm.
So, in other words, boredom is the opportunity for the birth of creativity.
Yep.
You're bored because you're not creative anymore. You're bored because, you know, you lost. The outcome isn't as important as the process anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So boredom isn't the cue to just figure out, oh, let me go do something else. No, if I know I need to do this, I'm losing my passion for it. I'm bored with it. That's an opportunity for a rebirth.
Yeah. To refresh. I think another thing that challenges our passion at times too is the struggle when things start to feel like it's too hard or bigger than what you would want them to be. I think that definitely plays into how passionate we can be to continue to move forward and to hustle through it. Um, but going back to what you were saying about boredom, that's a sign, I think, to continue to think of new ideas and to relight that fire to make the passion kind of outweigh or make the challenge a little bit more worth it.
Yep. Yep. And go there. So I think some of us just succumb to, oh, I'm not passionate about it anymore. Let me move on to something else. And it's like, nah, you know, if this is what you're supposed to do, you're going to go through ebbs and flows where your passion is high and where your passion is low. And once you recognize that, it doesn't hurt you as much because you realize my passion may be low for today, but eventually my passion will. I may not feel like doing it today, but tomorrow I'm going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be okay tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But if you follow your emotions, you're going to be like this, rather than the consistency of this while your emotions are like this. You know, that is a simple way of looking at it. And that's the way you keep yourself moving and keeping yourself motivated. Is to understand that the challenges are there. But again, those challenges, watch this, are moments of creativity.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel like I'm tired of dealing with this. It's two main challenges. But those challenges are opportunity for, well, how can I deal with these challenges? And again, something creative will rebirth from it.
Yep.
So to me, it's all about how you see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was watching a video, somebody was talking about burnout, and she was like, every field has people, you know, he's like, your field, she's like, your field isn't that special where it's like only people that do what you do feel that where you feel. You know, every field feels, everybody different feels something.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we don't look at how we contribute to quote unquote burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Are we making it harder than what it needs to be?
Mm-hmm.
Are we doing something that we're not passionate about? You know, how are you contributing to your lack of passion for a thing?
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. And I think too, you kind of alluded to this when we had our last staff meeting, where sometimes we need to take breaks and to reset. And I know as a business owner, like when that's your passion, you can go at that 24/7, but you need to allow yourself time to just woos out and to like reset and to relieve yourself of the stress. So like finding ways to create a safe space for you to kind of still think and maybe process through it, but to take the pressure off yourself of what your passion might bring along with all that fun stuff of trying to get it done.
Yeah. And some, I don't know about it for you, but for me, sometimes rest is going to see somebody else do what I'm passionate about,
Mm-hmm.
and their passion,
Yeah.
my passion for
Mm-hmm.
seeing different ways to do stuff, learning, looking and seeing. that rest is not just physical like sleep, but also that internal rest. You see you come out of your space and see somebody else doing something in their space, and it gets you like,
Yeah.
You charged up, you like ready to run through a wall again, because you see somebody else passionate about what they love.
Yep.
And that helps bring some rest to your soul too,
Mm-hmm.
and to help you reset and see things differently.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel like you're stuck in a rut, don't get rid of the basic things that got you there, but maybe you need to invent them.
Mm-hmm.
Do the same thing, but do it a little bit different.
Yep.
In a way that works for you where you are now, because what worked for you in one season won't necessarily work for you in another season.
Mm-hmm.
Again, to me, I keep going back to, how's your outlook? How are you looking at it?
Mm-hmm.
And your outlook will determine how you approach it, how you process it, and how you deal with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that. It's important. I think we spoke about before about how you're not the only person who's doing something, right? Like there's thousands of calendars. I'm not going to not make a calendar if it's my passion because someone else has one. But maybe being in that moment of challenge or feeling like you're in a rut or your passion is challenged is that open door that you need to make it unique, because it's challenging you to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going to set you apart.
Yeah. And sometimes just one little twist,
Mm-hmm.
one little thing that makes you different than somebody else. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really understand art. I'm not a big art guy. Like, it's cool to look at pictures,
Mm-hmm.
But people that love art, look at the texture, just look at
The color grading.
Look, color. I'm just sitting there like, that's nice.
Uh-huh.
You recognize nice art.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of painters out there, but what makes a Picasso different than somebody else? What makes a Rembrandt or a Van Gogh, different than other people? And usually it's the subtle touches.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at the same time, the most famous painting in the world is the Mona Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a picture of a woman. I mean, literally. I mean, when you think about it, it's a good painting.
Yeah.
But it's not like what's the Starry Night one from Van Gogh? It's not like that.
Mm-hmm.
The most popular painting of all time. And here's the thing. Yeah, Da Vinci did that, right? Yeah. Yep. It's considered an unfinished work. But even in its imperfection, it's the most famous painting in the world. And it's not like he set out for it to be the most famous painting. But the premise is that, look, like you said, you find your uniqueness. And when you find your uniqueness, people recognize that uniqueness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ramble a lot.
No, it's true. Like, and I think I remember hearing something about how, of course, it was incomplete and Da Vinci didn't necessarily like the Mona Lisa. He didn't think it was his best work. But like you said, it's renowned now. Everyone knows it, and millions upon millions each day go to the museum to see it. That was, I don't know how long he painted it, but a long time since he painted it. All that to say, like, I think we could be really hard on ourselves, and we have to give ourselves a little bit more credit that you're doing a good job. And it might not feel like it. You might think that you could do better, but to still find value in what it is that you are doing, because we can be so critical, so critical, and that feeds in to the lack of passion or desire you might have, because you're telling yourself that is not good.
Yeah.
So to have that outward perspective and to find grace for yourself too, it's okay to give yourself a pat on the back time to time.
Yeah. And it's fine. And because I don't know about you, I know with me, the things I think are going to hit sometimes don't hit. And the things that I think aren't going to be good, everybody's like, man, that was so good. And you're like, seriously? Really? like what? Like this? And you look at it like, no, like that's better. And you're like, no, this is better. The person doing the creating doesn't dictate the success of the thing. It's like when people, how do I go viral? Most virals are mistakes. They're not purposely viral. I mean, when you think about it, the things that go viral, the stuff that you don't think will, go. And the stuff you think will be, as soon as I post this, it's gonna have boom. And it's like you post like
Nothing.
nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's once it's out of your mouth, was out of your hand, it's now up to the interpretation of people to make it what. Um, and you know, and right, Karen, it's a small painting. It's not even that big, but it goes back to our job is just to do God's will. Our job is just to create, to do, and then let it be after that. It's like the parable that once where he sows a seed and goes to sleep, and then comes back, waters it, does stuff, goes back to sleep again, because the growth is not his responsibility. He does his part to prepare for it and do what he's supposed to do, you know, to make the seed grow, watering it, tending to it, but it's not his job to do it. It grows on its own outside of that.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. Our job is to do our part. Do your part. Don't skimp on it. Do your part and let God and life take care of the rest of it. In other words, get out of the business and just let it be what it is.
Yeah.
That's what we were saying, Robin. The Mona Lisa is considered an unfinished painting. And in its unfinished work, it's the most popular painting in the world. It's just, like you said, he didn't even like it, but it's like, just, you don't get to dictate that. Our job is just to create, to do, and let it be. You know, and I think that helps manage your disappointment too. You know, helps you. I'm tired and hungry today, so these rants be coming. Our job is just to let it be,
and
let it do its work. Because you can't dictate how and when. You just got to keep just doing. I was listening to Steve Harvey talk about, you know, his rise to fame, and he was getting ready to call his parents to see if he can move back home because the comedy thing just wasn't working out. And, you know, this is before cell phones. But, and then he was in Florida, he said, and he got a phone call that the Apollo wanted him to come perform there.
Wow.
Around the same time he was calling his parents to see if he can come back home and kind of just get a job and just, you know, do whatever. And he had to find a way, an opportunity open for him to do. He couldn't afford to go to New York. But an opportunity opened up for him to do a set in Florida that gave him the money to go to New York. You know, you can't, I say you can't pick when and how. You just have to be ready when the opportunity presents itself. And you don't realize until after that, all that was just building you up for the right opportunity. How come it's not working? How come it's not clicking? Maybe there's some stuff that you're learning in this process. So when the opportunity presents itself, you don't bomb when the opportunity comes.
Yeah.
Because all that was preparing you for this one moment. Because for a lot of times you only get really one shot. You know, first impressions are lasting. I'm not saying you only get one shot in life. I'm not saying that at all. But you get what I'm saying, that when the opportunity presents itself, you can't blow that up.
Yeah.
Because then you got to wait for another opportunity to present itself. All I'm saying is that our job is just do, plant, sow, you know, water, plant. And when opportunity presents itself, boom.
To stay focused. I have a neighbor who comes in. When he knocks on the door, we have dogs. So he tries to knock on the door so he doesn't disturb or get the dogs riled up. But sometimes you can barely hear him. Like if the TV's on, like you don't hear him knocking at all. And so going back to or relating to what you were saying, it's so easy to be distracted with all the noise of life and our inner talk about how things aren't working out, or I'm not even getting opportunities, right? Just kind of get lost in that noise that you might be missing the knocking at the door that's going to take you to what it is that you're hoping for. So, you know, it's important that we stay focused and drown out that noise so that when opportunity does knock, we're actually in a place to hear it and then connect and be open to what it might bring.
Yeah, because you never know. In scripture, seasons are events. They're a moment in time that you're not prepared. You're not. They don't come during convenient times. It just doesn't happen like that. You know, it comes when you're often not looking for it. It comes when you're ready to give up. It's just like I, you know, last time I was teaching singles, like, when is it time? I'm like, you know, honestly, you talk to a lot of people, most of them found their spouses when they weren't even looking. It just happened to be some,
Yeah.
just things happen like that. Not to say you can't look for things, but I'm just saying things happen oftentimes when you least expect them.
Yeah.
You don't feel at your strongest. You don't feel at your best. You don't feel at this. And it's like, what are you going to do about it now? It's there. It's now here. You're going to, oh, wait a minute. I got to go home and prepare.
Uh-huh.
This is why preparation is important beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
We often wait for the moment to prep. It's like fasting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fasting is usually good before the problem. How come we couldn't do this, Jesus? This kind, but fasting and prayer. Prayer and fasting. Jesus didn't go on a fast when he was approached with a demon. He must have been fasting before the problem came. Our problem is we wait. As soon as the problem, I'm going to go on fast. Nothing wrong when the problem comes going to fast. But I'm simply saying, look, what about the prep beforehand?
Mm-hmm.
It's those consistent things that prepare you for a moment. But can we be consistent to prepare ourselves for a moment and trust God enough that he knows the timing and what we're ready for? Some of the things we want would drive us crazy if God gave them to us today.
Yep.
You absolutely lose your mind. But God knows how old you are. He knows timing. And he knows what you have need of. And if my focus is him, it helps you deal with what you don't have better. Because if I'm only serving God to get something from him, you're not going to serve him long. But when I serve him from him, and he's the most important thing, like he told Abraham, I am your shield and I'm your reward. It makes it easier to deal with those things. It's easier to practice contentment when God is your reward.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to everybody, because that's the thing that's going to last. People, places, time, money, things, all that can change, but your relationship with God stays the same. All right, I'm sorry.
No, that's good.
Contentment doesn't mean that you don't want things. Contentment just means if I don't have it, my life isn't ruined. You can have a full life without that thing.
Mm.
You can have a good life without it. But if the success and the happiness of your life is contingent upon that thing, other than God, that thing now has become an idol.
Mm-hmm.
Why would God give you something that's going to take you further away from him?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's a fast way to be disappointed. What's that saying? Don't meet your idols because
I've learned that.
They'll disappoint you. Like we put so much of our hopes and life onto this one thing or person, I feel like we kind of get like, okay, now what?
Mm-hmm.
Or it wasn't as great as you thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
You are so right. Because as soon as you get it, you're like, oh, this is great. And it's like, that's it.
Where's the rest of it?
Well, and that's why God has to be. Paul says in Timothy, he talks about practicing contentment, having God and having your needs met. Be content with that. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we always say, I've never seen a hearse, a Brinks truck following a hearse. Mm. You can't take it with you. Nothing wrong with having things, nothing wrong with people. But when that time comes, it does not go with you. That's why the Bible says all of us are going to go through the fire. Mm-hmm. And only what we do for Christ will last that fire. All the other stuff is wood, hay, and stubble. It'll all burn up. But what we do for him is the stuff that means everything. When Jesus says build your treasure in heaven, he's not saying don't have a nice life on earth. Save, but understand that I should be building my heavenly life more than I am my earthly life.
Yeah.
Laying up treasures in heaven more than treasures here on earth. So, but again, it goes back to stretching ourselves beyond our desires. Is God our ultimate desire? Because when he's your ultimate desire, you could be disappointed that you didn't get this, but not so disappointed you're going to walk away from him. Mm-hmm. Because, I wanted this, but I need you more than this over here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find that balance between, we all have human feelings. We all have human desires. Nothing wrong with human passions. The problem is when those desires and passions control us. Like I said yesterday during the missions offering, everybody, there's nothing wrong with desire and recognition. The problem is when that recognition dominates your life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get it, you start doing things just to get more recognition.
Yep.
And you end up forfeiting God's reward for recognition from people. Sorry.
It's so easy to fall into, because I think you can start out with the purest of intentions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing you know, you're totally off the path.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because you're comparing yourself to other people.
Mm-hmm.
You're comparing stuff with you. I'll say this last thing, we could be done. It's almost 12:30. I was watching a clip of Scarlett Johansson talk about why she's not on social media.
Mm.
And she's like, I deal with anxiety already. And she said, I'm not the type of person to be able to see what's going on in everybody else's life and feel comfortable about my own.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, so I don't even go on it. I'm fine. You know, and to me, that was a signal of great self-awareness.
Yep.
Know what you can and you can't manage. I think our nonstop, I know I sound like an old fogey now, our nonstop watching what's going on with everybody else is quietly making us so uncomfortable with ourselves.
It's dangerous.
If we were uncomfortable with ourselves before all this, to a certain degree, it just made everything worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because that constant, well, this happened to this person. They've only been, what about me? And not realizing, they may have that. But do you know, first off, I heard a preacher say this years ago, you stop being jealous of people if you understood what it takes for that person to be who they are and to have what they have. Do you want their outcome or do you want their process to get that outcome? And most of us want the outcome. And sometimes people lie and they make it look right. And when you get to know them more, you realize, you are a miserable person.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I know we have to wrap up, but I think too, when you do that, excuse me, when you do that, it can almost get you in the mindset that you're doing something wrong, when in fact it's just God has something different for you. Doesn't make it wrong or right. It's just different. So it can be dangerous to, like you said, compare yourself to the outcomes of other people. But maybe God has something that's different for you that other person couldn't handle, vice versa. So
Pastor Grice is on, and you're right. They always lie. That's my boy, yo. That's my boy. That's why me and my friends, yo. People lie. We lie. Again, I said it like I said. Go back to reference singles class. I know couples who post themselves nonstop online and cannot stand each other in private.
Mm-hmm.
And like, y'all, goals. I wish. And if you only knew, and that's why you can't get caught up in a lot of that stuff. So anyway, thank y'all for coming on today. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we do have Embrace class tonight at 7. Of course, we have Empower Men's Ministry tomorrow night at 7. Men come on out at 7 o'clock. Wednesday Bible study, noon in person only. In the evening, in person as well as online. And of course, we have On Point this coming Saturday and Sunday service for our Transform Nation Sunday. We're wearing our T-shirts. It's going to be a great time in the Lord. You want to be here as we do all of our original music. We have some good church. Everybody's going to be in the sanctuary. It's going to be a good time in the Lord this coming Sunday. If you can't get here, make sure you're streaming online. Anything else?
And I was going to say, Sunday is also Get Connected Day. So, it's a great opportunity to get connected with the ministry and seeing the different ways that you can participate throughout the different ministries that are here at Bethany. So it's a great day, Sunday coming up.
Yep. All right, y'all. We'll see you not next week because we're off for Labor Day next Monday. We'll see you the following week for another Maximize Monday. And we'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.